Hello, my name is Janita Oliveras-Ortiz, and I am the instructor for the first practicum in the principalship that your student is enrolled in. I want to thank you for your time and for your service. Throughout this brief video, I will be sharing the expectations for your role as the site supervisor. In the Department of Educational Leadership, there's 5 instructors. Dr. Wes Hickey, the Department Chair, Professor of Educational Leadership, Dr. Jennifer Jones, Dr. Gary Miller, and Dr. Vance Vaughn, in addition to myself. We all teach the courses that the aspiring principals must complete in order to become Texas Certified Principals. As part of the requirements for Texas certification, students must complete a total of 160 hours of practicum activities. Students that are enrolled in the master's program must complete 3 practicum courses, which they complete in the last 3 blocks of the program, starting in block 2 or the second semester. Students that already hold a master's degree and are only completing the courses required to secure their principal certification will complete 2 practicum courses in their first semester, which is block 2, and in their last semester. Students in the principal certification program do not have to complete block 1. In our program, we have structured the blocks so that we focus on certain aspects of the principalship in each of those blocks. In block 2, where they'll complete their first practicum course, the focus is best practices of curriculum and instruction. In block 3, they learn about special programs and during the practicum complete action research. And in block 4, we talk about the principalship and the different duties the principal has as a manager and as an instructional leader. Please note that students in the principal certification only program do not complete the action research project, given that that is the project completed during the practicum course in block 3. I want to remind you that students in the principal certification program start in block 2. They do not have to complete block 1. You have agreed to serve as the site supervisor for your teacher who is enrolled in our program. As a site supervisor, you're expected to have at least 3 years of experience in the certification class being pursued by the candidate, in this case, a principal. You should be currently certified in the class in which the practicum candidate is seeking certification, the principalship. You must have completed a training provided by the Education Preparation Program. This is the training that I am providing, an orientation for you to understand expectations, which should be completed within 3 weeks of being assigned to a practicum candidate. If you have agreed to serve as the site supervisor for one of your teachers, this is the required training, and you will be asked to complete a brief survey at the end of this video documenting that you have completed the training. By agreeing to serve as a site supervisor, you're agreeing to guide, assist, and support the candidate during the practicum. Every practicum at UT Tyler requires that the students complete 80 hours of administrative activities that are aligned to the Texas Principal Standards. We'll talk about the Texas Principal Standards in a moment. You are also expected to report the candidate's progress to the candidate field supervisor. The field supervisor is an experienced school principal, either a current principal or a retired principal, that is a part-time employee of the university. The contact information for your student's field supervisor has been provided on the email that I have sent you. Throughout the practicum, you'll be expected to verify the hours the students have completed and sign the time logs that will be provided. That is a way to communicate with me regarding the progress of your candidate. By agreeing to serve as a site supervisor, you've agreed to help the candidate complete 80 hours of administrative activities during this semester. All those activities must be aligned to the Texas Principal Standards. There are 5 Texas Principal Standards: instructional leadership, human capital, executive leadership, school culture, and strategic operations. During this first practicum, I ask that you focus on instructional leadership, given that in block 2, our focus is best practices of curriculum and instruction. However, we understand that not every activity can be aligned to Standard 1. We want to develop candidates that are prepared for the job of the principal. So it is encouraged that you find activities that align to all 5 standards as the candidate completes the practicum in this first block as well as in the future practicum courses. Your candidate also has a field supervisor. That is not the site supervisor. You are not the field supervisor. However, the professor or the instructor of the course can be the field supervisor. The field supervisor has to be certified as a Texas principal. Any field supervisor must complete the TEA coaching field supervisor training. Field supervisors are required to conduct 135 minutes of observation throughout the practicum. Our practicum is divided into 3 semesters, so not all observation minutes will be completed during this semester. The field supervisor, as well as you, are expected to coach aspiring principals and help them improve the skills that they'll need to be successful as principal. It is important for you as the site supervisor to understand the expectation from TEA is that during that observation, the candidate is actually performing a duty aligned to the Texas principal standards. So it is not just a time to visit or have a general conversation about how the practicum is going. It is a time for the field supervisor to observe the candidate perform a duty, perhaps lead a meeting or analyze data or any other sort of activity that is aligned to the Texas principal standard, so that the field supervisor can in turn provide some coaching related to that specific standard and the skills aligned to the standard. During this first practicum, the field supervisors will conduct 2 observations focused on development of our students' instructional leadership capacity. The students are expected to conduct 2 classroom observations, and the field supervisor would then coach the teachers before they conduct a post-observation conference. And once they have conducted the post-observation conference, which they have to record, then the field supervisor will set up a time to speak to our student and coach them on how that post-observation conference went. So in essence, the field supervisors are following the pre-observation, observation, and post-observation conference cycle, just like your teacher will be expected to use that same cycle to observe a classroom teacher. So during this semester, they will complete 2 of the required observations that will count towards the total observation minutes. I want to thank you once again for your time. I want to thank you for agreeing to serve as your candidate's site supervisor. If you have any questions, please don't hesitate to contact us. Below is my contact information. I would ask that you at this time complete the survey indicating that you have watched this training. Thank you.